Cloud finally responded. Let's see what he has to say. Today we're watching Addressing the 1Cloud9 Files. Here's the truth.
What's good, YouTube? Today, 1Scam9 is back.
This guy.
I'm taking this a lot more serious than I am. My former editor slash friend, Alex Gordine, dropped an exposed video claiming that I scammed him because I didn't pay him when he wanted to get paid. But also, you clickbaited everybody. I got scammed. You did not get scammed. And also,
That's also true. We talked about that he didn't end up getting scammed, right? We talked about the fact that he didn't get scammed because he got paid. He just didn't get paid on his, properly, in a timely manner for one of them, right? Because I remember that 2-week time period. I will say, something that I did notice was the fact that if he got paid, why did you make the video? And then the time frame on it seemed back in 2024-ish, and we're in 2026, no? So the time frame was a little weird for why he dropped that video.
got proof that he didn't get scammed. Here's the Cash App receipt. I paid this man. You know, he even said I paid him later in the video, but he just tried to sneak by it. Before we really get deep into this, I need to preference this that Alex severely downplayed how close me and him were. At one
he said that y'all were like brothers. He did say y'all were like brothers. I'm not gonna lie to you.
point, me and Alex were damn near brothers. I trusted him with a lot of information. He's trusted me with a lot of information. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I already proved to you that the video that he made is already built on the premise of lies because I didn't scam him when I paid him his money. But I really want to open your eyes to what his video is. It's not an expose, it's an invasion of privacy in a slander video. But my response is to show you that the reason why he posted his video is not to get justice because he's already been paid. It's not to warn or prepare people because he didn't give y'all the full extent and the full story of what happened. And he's not making this video to show that I didn't pay him his money because, again, I paid him his money. So once you count all of those three things out, why do you think he made this video? Well, I can tell you, for attention. And there's a lot of
hey, well, let's see.
evidence and examples I'm going to show you in this video that proves that. Also, a telltale sign of this is that he's deleting every single positive comment about me or calling out the hypocrisy or the holes in the story that are glaringly obvious completely from the internet. But luckily, my team has already screened.
Damn, someone sent a paragraph in this hoe. Okay, I'm not gonna read that long ass one. I don't know, Cloud, but this video is you glazing yourself. We did say that, and crying about not getting paid on time, like you over here describing yourself like you Superman of editing. I don't see nothing special. Pretty mid. It's that, by the way. It sounds like you have the ego there. There are so many editors 30 times better than you that do it 30 times faster than you. You sound goofy, bro. Do better. Deleting comments ain't it, fam. Let people have their opinions. Facts. I don't delete comments. If you go through my comments, I don't delete no type of comments.
Screenshot of these as
Damn, there's more?
proof. And like I was saying before, his title and thumbnail is clickbait. I never said I wasn't gonna pay you your money. That's a bold-faced lie. And I am not a demon, so I don't know why you put devil horns on me. Like, god damn. And again, you're doing all of this over a situation that has been resolved and handled over half a year ago. If this issue was so bad that you had to make an expose video on it, why didn't you post this 6 months ago, dude?
That's what I just said. He said, oh, he was editing for him back in 2024. So it's 2026, nigga. But hey, keep going, Cloud.
And in this video, I'm finna give you the full story on this whole contract negotiations. Because if you couldn't tell, there was a lot of context and holes in his story. So let's start off with this ego thing. See, one of the biggest claims that Alex made in this video is that I have a major ego. Now, for this claim, he doesn't really provide any real evidence. He honestly just says I have an ego a lot. But funny enough, a lot of this shit you said about me, I feel like you were honestly projecting. For instance, this one clip I'm finna show you, he tries to get off this take that I'm egotistical and resentful and jealous of him, yet he says this about me.
You know, I'm not saying that I'm the, most person that everybody wants to hate on, but I'm a handsome guy. I'm very talented. And like I said, he asked me for a lot of advice because I was so well versed despite me being the smaller creator. So it's almost like because Cloud sometimes saw that, I was the better editor. I had a better personality. I just so happened to start.
I said that. I said, bro, damn, better personality. Is that not subjective? At what point do we start saying, oh yeah, like I'm better, my personality is better, people would want to be around me if they knew me more than if they knew you? That's crazy.
Later than him and just haven't got blessed by the algorithm the same way he has been yet. It was kind of like
what are you talking about, gang? How are you finna say I got an ego? I'm jealous, I'm resentful, but yet you not only said that you're funnier than me, you're more creative than me, you're a better editor, but you also made a claim that the only reason why I'm bigger than you is because the algorithm blessed me, but it just magically didn't bless you. Interesting. But the clip keeps getting worse, bro. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, it was kind of like he envied me a little bit. And Cloud's whole perspective.
I envied you. Nah, bro, hold on. Let me watch this shit again.
I was a better editor. I had a better personality. I just so happened to start later than him and just haven't got blessed by the algorithm the same way he has been yet. It was kind of like he envied me a little bit. And
So after you said this, did you not think that, maybe, just maybe this...
The fact he has Dior on the screen. Go look at my past video. I had to stop the whole video. So damn, nigga, what the fuck? Goddamn.
It may sound a little hypocritical because I'm hearing a lot of envy, but it ain't coming from me, gang. Nigga was on here yapping about, yeah, because I'm so much better than Cloud. And if the algorithm would just suck my dick like it apparently be sucking his, I would be so much bigger than him, you know? But yeah, anyways, that's why he envies me so much. Like, what? That's not only one of the most egotistical things I've ever heard. Also, you have shown plenty of text in this video, not only supporting you, congratulating you on your success, but also I have reacted to multiple of your videos on my The Cloud channel. If I was jealous of you, why would I support you that much? That makes no sense. In this video, Alex also spent some time talking about how I struggle to pay editors on time. And this is a real issue. I'm gonna keep it a beam. I'm a busy guy and I have a lot of editors to pay. And sometimes I may be a day or two late. But one thing that I did to combat this fault, I will give an extra added bonus because of my inconvenience. But one thing he tried to accuse me of is delaying paying editors because I get some sick kick
enjoyment
out of it. Like,
yeah,
he thinks that like I jerk off just thinking of the thought of not paying my editors. Like, what the fuck?
And Cloud will purposely like drag his feet to not pay people because it's like an ego thing. Like, just because he knows he can and he feels good knowing that people asking him for money. You know what I mean?
No, I do not know what you mean. How about maybe, just maybe, I am busy. I consistently post on 2 channels. I post a reel or short every single day. I also have other editors to attend to. And let's not forget, I am a human being. I have other things to do and other responsibilities in my life.
That's what I said in my video. Go, keep speaking, Kyle. Keep speaking. God said, if you're running a corporation, if you're running a business, like, it's natural for people to be busy. People like 24 hours. I even gave him grace and I said 2, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. That one time when he did request a payment and it was February 25th to March 11th. Hell no, way too long, Cloud. We on your ass for that one.
Because I can't get back to you when you want me to doesn't mean I'm ignoring you. I'm just simply busy. And I want y'all to start paying attention to something. Throughout this video, every single time somebody doesn't do exactly what Alex wants them to do at that exact moment, he says they have an ego. Remember that. Also, let me make this transparently clear because he tried to make it seem like I always pay my editors late. Usually I pay all of my editors on Sunday and I try to pay all of them the same day. And if not, it'll be like that Monday morning, like at 2 to 3 a.m. because I stay up super late. Like, bro, you're acting like I waited 5 days to pay you every single time. Like, bro, that doesn't happen. Also, in some of these screenshots, he tries to make it seem like I didn't pay him at all, but I didn't just Apple Pay him his payment. I would also Cash App his payment. Like in this one screenshot right here, I literally Cash Apped him the money. Yeah, he tried to make it seem like,
hold on, let's check those dates.
Cash App his payment. Like in this
Cash App fine, following up on payment, 203, okay, 8 hours has passed.
One screenshot right here, I literally Cash App.
This is September 28, 1032. He paid him when he asked again. Okay.
Apped him the money. Yeah, he tried to make it seem like I never paid him. Once again, trying to manipulate these screenshots and making it seem like I'm doing something that I'm not. And as you see right here, this is proof that I do pay editors a bonus because I pay typically, I think around this time I was paying like $200 per video. He did 5 videos as you see, that equals to $1,000 and also an additional $250 added on to his
fuck is that
as bonuses. Some part of that is performance based, but also the late fee because as you see, I never paid him on Sunday. So even though yes, I do have inconveniences, unfortunately, I do make sure they're fully compensated for my mistakes and inconveniences. The funny thing about the bonuses is that I remember later in this video, he did say bonuses that I give isn't really me being nice. It's really just me compensating him for money that should have already been owed. He basically tried to say that since I underpay my editors. But if you look at the price graph, I pay Alex $150 per video. Usually I got a good bonus in there. So let's say 175 to even potentially 200. And later in this video, he makes a claim that on average, it takes him 4 hours to make a video for me. If you do the math, if I'm paying you $200 for 4 hours of work, you're getting paid $50 an hour. Do you understand how much money that is per hour basis? Only 5 to 8% of the world makes over $50 an hour. Yet you're complaining about that. And again, even if you wanted to be paid more, you could have just discussed it with me. Another thing about this payment fiasco, right? What Alex chooses not to tell you in this video is that he was fine with me paying him, not with a contract. I paid him like this for over a year. It actually benefited him that I paid him under the table because I wasn't binded by contract to only pay him a certain amount. If he was under contract, he knew he wouldn't get bonuses like he did, which is why he was fine without being on contract until I told him we were putting him on contract. The contract was never his idea. But back to my main point. But something that also tells to your character is your invasion of my privacy because Not only did you expose private calls and texts throughout this whole video, some of which didn't even add to prove to your point, you just exposed it to expose it. For example, you exposing information about my bank account.
But brag to me on the phone and go, you know, I'm gonna be honest. He's like, ever since 2022 or 2023 when I first blew up and I made so much money, he was like, I feel uncomfortable if I don't have at least 100,000 in my bank account.
You know, I find this part funny because why would you say this? And also, why would I just randomly bring this up? In this conversation we were having, you asked me how much I made and I told you that. Yet you used this clip and took the information that I told you, that you asked for, by the way, and used it to spin this narrative that I was just bragging. Like, what are we talking about? And let's not forget that I told you that information because you kept on telling me that I could trust you and you wasn't gonna tell nobody. Yet you told thousands of people on the internet. And also, Alex, why did you say the actual amount? Does your word not mean shit to you, brother? Because again, you told me I could trust you. But obviously, you are showing us that you're not that much of a trustworthy person. Like, that's just so weird. But the thing that really pissed me off about this whole situation is not only were you invading on my privacy, but you were also invading on my manager's privacy. And one of his clients who, again, you leaked in the video for the sake of privacy reasons. You could at least have blurred the name of the person. But I know you're all waiting for me to address the contract situation, but I do have to mention one thing before we get there. Like I said, me and Alex were friends. Talk on the phone late night with each other. Pause, that sounds crazy. We've gone on trips with each other. One of the trips that me and bro took with each other, pause, this sounds so gay. One of the trips that we both went on with other people, the other people are girls, just so you know, it doesn't sound like we were butt buddies, was the infamous PCB Florida trip. He actually mentioned this in his video. The summary of what he was trying to get off with this is that during this trip, my friends bullied him and I didn't defend him, which is why he had to get up out of there in his own words. He tried to make himself the victim in the situation with me being the bad guy. Now, if you had a brain, you could realize there's a lot of holes in that story. And the reason why there's a lot of holes in that story is because he lied throughout all of it. Because this story is a perfect exhibit of who this man, Alex Gordine, really is. So here's the backstory. Me and a couple of my friends decided to go to PCB. So the people who were going on this trip is me, my two homegirls, one of their friends, and I also invited Alex. See, Alex wanted to slide on one of my homegirls, aka the one that he said disrespected him. That disrespect, that rude behavior that he experienced never happened. You wanna know why? Because my homegirl barely even spoke to him the whole trip. But it's not because of what y'all think. See, on the drive down, my homegirl got a call about an urgent family emergency that honestly kind of fucked her up. The whole group was aware of this, including Alex, and we all tried our best to comfort her, except Alex, because all he was worried about is that she wasn't in the mood for him to try and slide on her and spit some game or whatever. Which, brother, read the fucking room. And what makes this situation worse is that he started to make the whole encounter about himself. I remember he wanted to talk to me in a separate room once we got into the B&B. And he started going off about how she was gloomy and she had a bad mood. And he even called her a moody, weird bitch. Mind you, she's going through something. You know this. Why are you saying this? It's not like she even was rude to him. She just had a common, cordial conversation and then went off to be by herself because she was actively going through something, which I kept on trying to tell him.
Hey, Cloud sounds like a W, man. In this one instance, hold on, we haven't finished the video, because a 2v3? Hey, boy.
And he kept on rambling about how he was uncomfortable because the mood was bad. And throughout this whole situation, he only really cared about his feelings and nobody else. And he was...
It sounds like a lot of he said, she said. I need some text messages. I need some recorded calls, something.
Find a way to bring the focus back on him. It was just so weird. And then he proceeded to damn near have a mental breakdown for no reason, talking about how he regrets coming on the trip, how my friends were weird, and it just didn't make sense because nobody said anything to him. To this day, I don't understand why he did this. Mind you, all of this is happening on the first day. He's only known these people for a few hours.
He left on the first day?
He told me that he wanted to go home. Brother, the trip just started. The only thing we did was go get groceries. Besides that, we've been at the B&B the whole time. What do you mean? And funny enough, he did mention the grocery part in his video, where he complained that my friends were trying to make him pay for all of the groceries, when that's not the case. We were all finna split groceries as a group until you said you didn't want to pay, to where my friends responded with, okay, cool, and then they paid for the groceries. You never spent a dime and it was never a big issue. Like, you were literally just creating problems in your head and trying to find a way for you to somehow play the victim in a situation where there's no reason for you to be the victim. And also, you were just making everything about yourself. So after like 2 hours of us being in this room, me trying to console you, it got to the point where you kept on saying you wanted to go home. So trying to be a good friend, I said to you, yo, if you really do want to go home, I'll pay for your flight. I'll help you pack your bags and you can go and it'll be all cool. And next thing you know, Alex was flying home. And the night before his flight, he begged me to let him sleep in my closet in my room because he was scared that one of the girls is gonna do something to him. The girl who was currently crying in her room because she's sad about a family situation. That barely—
Am I not the only one that's a little concerned? Who are these hoes you're hanging out with? Why are you so scared that she would hurt you in some type of way like that? Oh no.
even knows you. That's the girl that you're scared of. Like, he was literally beefing with thin air. Like, I don't understand it. And the craziest part about the situation is that after this all happened,
I'm gonna start zooming in on my eyes whenever I have a statement to say.
And he got back home, he tried to blame me for the situation. Like, at first he sent me a text saying thank you after he got home from his flight.
Wait. Here, Mark, thanks again for looking out. I just wanted to say, be careful. I know you know all of them, but who knows who they might bring and what those people intentions are, gang. You got a nice B&B and it is loaded and they know that, so please, my dude, be careful. Are these hoes he does not know? I am not going on trips with somebody I do not know at all. I would hope he knows these people, but hey.
Thank you. After he got home from his flight. But then a couple days later, we got on a call. And not only did he take back his thank you, but he also told me that me buying him a flight was the least I could do because of the situation that I put him in, and blamed the whole situation on me for bringing my friends around him. Mind you, again, I've said this like 50 times. They didn't do a fucking thing to him, bro. We was only there for a couple hours. How could they even get the fucking chance to, brother? And of course, after this, we fell out because, like, bro, I'm like, no, bro, that's too much, man. And I tried to ask him for my $350 that I spent on the flight back because, of course, he didn't appreciate it. But this was the text he sent.
I'm gonna need that $350 back. Nah, I earned it from December. Remember, I still overpaying you. Yo, Mark, can we talk?
Yeah, Alex. Technically, I feel like you owe me money. Maybe I should make an exposed video on you. Also, this is how you depicted my friend in your video.
One of Cloud's friends, these girls that he invited that I didn't know like that, one of them was extremely rude and nasty to me.
Mind you, this girl hasn't done a single thing to you yet. You try to slander her by depicting her like this. For no reason. Yet you're trying to accuse them of bullying you. Like, yo, you show so many signs of being a hypocrite in this video. It's crazy. Hey, but now we know your character. I don't know if y'all peep something. Throughout this whole video, Alex has shown plenty of signs of narcissism. And I'm not just saying this for no reason. Really just break this down with me. He has shown plenty of signs of being selfish, weirdly egotistical, envious, insane amounts of self-centeredness to the point where he literally negates—
Cloud, put your face on the screen. I'm tired of looking at this fucking Lizzo. I don't remember her name from Jimmy Neutron.
Hates other people's tragedy. And again, when he doesn't get his way, he resorts to bullying other people, but then tries to call himself the victim and blaming other people for his mistakes instead of looking internal. Like that has been victim maxing this whole time, bro. I don't know how he's still doing it. All of these literally terms to describe a narcissist. And I'm not the only one who thinks this, because if you go through the comments that he actually deleted, a lot of them were calling him out for his hypocrisy. But of course he deleted those because he couldn't stand people disagreeing with him or even criticizing him for that matter, which yet again is another sign of narcissism. And when other YouTubers reacted to your video, they also pointed out these same signs that I'm noticing.
Bro, I'm not trying to sleep on the couch out in the open when there's this girl that all of a sudden just hates me, is walking around at night potentially just because I'm
gonna go ahead and call a spade a spade. You sounding like a bitch right now, brother. What are we talking about? This girl hates me, walking around, like, what's this got to do with Cloud, bro?
Big brother advice. As a man, you walking around expecting other people to stick up for you, that's not how this life shit gonna go, bro.
Out in the open,
oh,
when there's this girl
yours.
that all of a sudden just hates me, is walking.
Bro, I was on the same timing as Dior, bro. I said, nigga, what? Bro, I paid for the ticket there? I don't give a fuck if the bitch turns green and it becomes She-Hulk, nigga. I'm there. I'm already here. That's what it's gonna fucking be.
Bro, you need to boss up, my nigga. She gonna do.
So it's almost like because Cloud sometimes saw that, I was the better editor. I had a better personality. I just so happened to start later than him and just haven't got blessed by the algorithm the same way he has been yet. It was
Calm down, my nigga.
kind of like
This is not a wild claim, and I feel like at this point
Yo, Cloud, bro, I'm fucking quiet, bro. Come on,
you
bro.
can see why I'm saying that.
Keep going.
But the main reason why I'm bringing this up is because Alex's ego is a big reason why these contract negotiations went the way they did. Because something he forgot to mention to y'all about these contract negotiations is not only was he being insanely difficult in them, he was also trying to borderline scam us and then blamed us for not letting him do it. And I'm not saying that to negate any wronghood or blame from myself on how I acted in these negotiations. But let me break it down. So fast forward about 3 months and I was looking for new editors on my main channel. And because I got desperate, I'm gonna just keep it a beam, I ended up reaching back out to Alex and asking him to edit for me, which was the stupidest thing I've done this whole fucking video. Like, I already knew his character. I seen his character. How do I let him back in? But if I'm being honest, to his credit, the reason why I reached back out is because he does get videos out fast. But I was being lazy and didn't want to find new editors, bro. I was trying to look past all of the red flags I seen, to be completely honest with you, for my own benefit. Short-term benefit at that. I fucked up. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned from this whole encounter. Anyways, we had a call. He did apologize for a good amount of the things he said. And we found a decent equilibrium to continue to work with each other again. But maybe a month into
Cloud's fucking exercising his vocabulary, using equilibrium and shit.
working with each other, me and my manager decided that we wanted to start doing contracts. The reason why is just to be a little bit more professional. So I told all my editors, yo, we're doing contracts. You know, the thing I really do hate about Alex's video, he never tells the full story, not once. Because during negotiations with Alex, I let Justin do the talking for the most part. But the one thing that I did do was verbally agree beforehand with all my editors on how much they wanted to be paid per video, just so we didn't have no confusions and back and forth about that. Me and Alex agreed on $150 per video. I remember when we was on the phone call, I kept on asking him, yo, if you want more, let me know right now. And he said 150 is fine. But the next week when he started negotiating with Justin, instead of asking for that 150, he asked for 200. When Justin asked him, yo, why are you asking for 200? Didn't you and Cloud agree on 150? Alex said, yeah, we verbally agreed on that, but we didn't write it on paper though. And then he continued to say that that
makes a lot more sense why you started being petty. That makes a lot more sense why you started being petty. Because you were like, oh, I didn't verbally agree to pay you on Sunday. You said I verbally agreed to pay you on Sunday, not in a contract. That would actually add up a little bit more. Because I just thought you were being a dickhead.
agreement that me and him had didn't
I'm not taking his shit as law yet. You feel me? But hey.
really matter. Interesting. I mean, you could say that. It's an opinion. I don't know if that's the right one, but I do know that since you think that about verbal agreements, then you shouldn't mind me breaking one of our verbal agreements because they don't really matter, right? Interesting. I'm gonna keep that in mind. Spoiler alert, him saying this did come back to bite him later in the video, but back to it. As you should probably know if you watched Alex's video already, Alex asked for a lot of things in this contract. A lot of things that he said was reasonable, but me and my manager did not agree with that statement. Because to be honest, it looked like he was trying to scam us. The first thing we didn't agree to was the overtime. See, like I said before, I paid Alex a flat rate for each video. But in this contract, he wanted to get paid for every additional hour that he spent on this video, stating that on average, he only spent 4 hours per video. So basically, if he ever worked more than 4 hours on a video, he expected to get paid $50 for every additional hour that he got paid. So let's say he worked 8 hours on a video. Instead of getting 200 flat rate, he would get 400. But he never included a way for us to actually track his hours. He just wanted us to trust his word on how many hours he worked. Yeah, there's a big problem with that.
Yeah,
he
bro.
could say he worked 10 hours and get an extra $300 for a video. And in all reality, he only worked 3. So because of that, of course, we couldn't accept that. The next one we really didn't agree with was corrections. Alex wanted to get paid a certain extra fee for every single correction he had to make in the video. Let's say he gets me back a video and I say audio or this or that wasn't right? He would have to go back and fix his mistakes. In this contract, he wanted me to pay him for fixing his own mistake. Wait, brother, how does that make sense?
No,
I don't know why he thought we would agree to these terms, but it's obvious he's trying to get over on us. And that first overtime one is just an obvious scam. So because we didn't see eye to eye,
the overtime one is an obvious scam, and that's an obvious scam that a couple of my homegirls actually work for call centers. I'm not gonna say their names. They work for call centers, and then the call center is, hey, if you do 10 hours of overtime, which you can literally just stay logged into your computer, and it will be tracked as overtime. You can only get so much overtime before they start investigating you. But yeah, Yeah, you just stay in that bitch. Like, what, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and then don't do it anymore.
We continue negotiations. But just because you ask for things in a contract doesn't mean we have to say yes. See, Alex doesn't see things like that. In a section of his video where he was talking about contracts, he started to ramble about how when we were negotiating with him, we were trying to play an ego battle with him. His evidence for these claims is that when he gave us a demand he wanted, we would counter with an offer we wanted. And he basically said we were trying to downplay his greatness and that we were only doing that to ego and spite him.
But it's like, once they finally sent me the contract after I asked for the stipulations that we both agreed upon, the contract
That's cap. We both did not agree on that.
damn near didn't even have half of the stipulations that I put in there. It was like I was having to basically keep on saying the same thing that we already agreed
Can we also talk about how fast he put that fucking contract up there and then dropped it?
up upon. And it's like, you know, Cloud's manager would be like, yeah, I'm handling like a meeting with so-and-so rich creator.
Could you have not at least blurred Justin's client out of the screenshot? Because again, all the blurring of private names in this video is being done by me.
Kind of like I said, it's like an external validation, like power. They care about that image of being at the top of the food chain and they want other people to be on the bottom. So when
This doesn't make sense at all. He told you he was busy and then he gave you evidence that he's busy. Like, what
That's what I
more
said.
can you ask for? We were
I
simply
said
just
that.
working on other things. And we made you aware of that, yet you're still tripping about it. And then you claim that we had an ego because of this. Genuinely, how does us being busy equal to us having an ego? That just doesn't make sense to me.
a guy like me who knows his own worth comes with my own agreements in the contract because they just thought they were going to give me a contract and I was just going to sign it because they thought I just really needed the money or something.
No, we didn't. Like, why are you even assuming that, bro?
It was almost like they were like trying to play this ego battle with me, whereas they were trying to get as much out of me while trying to give as little.
Alex, freak out when I tell you this, but that's called negotiating. We don't have to agree to your terms. And the overall goal of a contract negotiation is for both sides to come to a compromise, which was what my manager was literally trying to do right here in this very own screenshot. Yet for whatever reason, you called this ego. How are we egoing you by trying to compromise with you? That makes no sense. But yet again, chat, we keep on seeing the recurrent themes. He is trying to play the victim. He is victim maxing. Okay, let me get serious. He's trying to play the victim, man.
Much out of me while trying to give as little, which, hey, to a degree, that's business, right? But like I said, I thought we were friends. Like I said, Cloud would always call and ask me for advice on things. We would hang out, we chill with each other, you know what I'm saying? So I assumed like we were cool, and it's like the thing I'm asking for, you know, isn't unrealistic anyways, and I've already done so much work for you, paid and for free, you know, at a fast rate.
First off, we don't think the contract is reasonable. Why do you think we're negotiating? Second, now you want us to be unprofessional and just agree to your contract because we're friends, yet you was just dragging on us for being unprofessional because we were simply busy and couldn't text you back right away. Does this not sound like manipulation? He's basically saying, shut up and sign this scammy ass 360 ass contract just because it's me and we're friends, even though I'm trying to scam you right now and I'm good for it. Like, huh?
The thing I'm asking for, you know, isn't unrealistic anyways, and I've already done so much work for you, paid and for free, you know, at a fast rate, at a high quality. What more could you want, right? So honestly, it felt more and more
For you not to also scam me. Is that also is that also an option or no?
like I was just getting to run around in disrespect.
I'm sorry if I'm not talking a lot. I'm trying to make sure that I'm picking up on everything he's saying. I see, you know, we're seeing a bunch of the old footage, so you know I'm not paying too much attention to this. Yeah.
Almost, you know what?
We disrespecting you because we didn't want to accept your contract. What are we talking about? Like, what? So if you can't tell by now, these contract negotiations were absolutely hell with Alex because he was doing shit like that. We would try to compromise with him, but he wasn't having it. And he either wanted his contract his way or the highway. And you want to know something even crazier about these negotiations? He talks so much shit about my manager in the video, but behind the scenes, my manager was really trying to...
For sure. Goddamn. I'm not adding a revision clause. If I'm paying you a flat rate, if your boss is paying you a flat rate and he asks you to fix something, you already go fucking fix it. Now, granted,
negotiate, and in my opinion, was trying to help him. And Justin even convinced me to agree to some of your stipulations, as he's seen where you were coming from. However, since we didn't agree to all of your stipulations, you weirdly accused us of having an ego. But because you were so mad, you decided to put him on the thumbnail. Again,
that's him? Oh my God, bro.
Exposing his privacy for no reason. Chat, do y'all understand how crazy that is?
No, for sure. I'm sure bro is a YouTuber. He doesn't put his face on the internet for a fucking reason. Maybe on an Instagram post, you feel me? Bro, come on now. I didn't even know who that was. I honestly thought it was a random black dude. I saw Cloud and I pressed on the video.
Justin is a private person. Nobody in my community would even know who he is. There's literally no reason to put him on a thumbnail, even if you really don't like the guy. Even the people who try to help you, you still stab them in the back when they don't do exactly what you want them to do. But then you still try to play the victim card. Like, brother, what are we talking about? You have done this throughout this whole situation, not only with me and Justin, but me and my friends. And mind you, in this 1 week, we actually signed all 3 of our other editors. And it wasn't because we did anything different with them. They were just willing to negotiate. But the reason why we couldn't get our contract done, Alex, is because you weren't trying to negotiate with us. You was just trying to fuck us over. And because he wasn't getting his way, he decided to hold out on editing videos. Mind you, throughout this whole time frame of us getting this contract done, he's been editing videos for me and I have been paying him. But just because we weren't letting him bend us over, oil us up, and fuck us over, he decided to hold out. So you want to know what we decided to do? Hold out his last payment until he either agreed to start negotiating with us again properly, or in the worst case scenario, we fire him and then we'll just pay him after we know the negotiations are completely finished. And in dealing with a situation like this, it is extreme.
That is how business works. You're right. You're not wrong, Cloud. You're not wrong. The way he definitely painted it was as if that he painted it like you weren't trying to pay him. He literally just told you to fuck off.
Extremely hard to keep it professional, especially when you know somebody's trying to screw you over and you're trying to work with them, but they're just not budging. But that is not an excuse to be unprofessional. As a man, you still got to stay strong. And even though I don't think I was wrong completely in this next section, there is for sure things that I think I could have did better. I'm coming to y'all as a man, telling y'all this right now before we even get into this. But here's where I really feel like I fucked up. At this point, it was obvious he wasn't actually going to properly negotiate with us. We should have just ended the contract negotiations there. I should have just paid him at that time, because even if we got him in a good contract, you don't want people like this who are trying to get over on you to be around your circle. But I'm going to be honest with you, and I really do regret this. I don't think I was really in this contract negotiation to actually get it solved anymore. I just wanted to be petty. He was trying to be petty to us, so I wanted to be petty to him. And again, this is where I got to take accountability and say, I fucked up. Because after this, me and Justin decided to just stop talking to him for about 3 days, just so we could figure out a valid plan of how we were going to attack this. And we even attempted to try and negotiate with him one final time before we did this little silence. But again, like you could probably expect, he wasn't budging, his way or the highway.
Can I get some like text messages like, oh, I guess you don't want to leak the shit between you and your manager? That makes sense.
Gave him the highway. But on day 2 of our silence, I found out from one of my other editors that Alex had called him, told him about the current contract negotiations we were going through, and even suggested that he'd hold out with Alex. And of course, after only hearing one side of the story, he wanted to help his bro out. So he went to bat for Alex against me and Justin, even contemplating taking Alex's suggestion to hold out with him. But once we told bro the full extent of the story, he quickly decided that this wasn't his battle to fight and decided to back out of this whole controversy smartly, because he realized Alex had sent him on a dummy mission to go take a bullet for him without properly telling him what was actually going on. But he was willing to do it for you because y'all were boys and you took advantage of that, basically using that editor that he called his friend. Like, bro, if we was really like dickheads for real, we could have fired that other editor and that would have been Alex's fault, but he didn't care because he was just trying to get his way. That's fucked up. I'm gonna be honest. And honestly, looking back at the situation, we should have just cut ties with Alex, paid him his money, and then went about our way. But again, we didn't, due to me being petty. 2 days later, you sent me a text demanding your money and also threatening to sue if we didn't pay your money. And you got mad that I laughed at your message, which again, I'll admit, that was me being petty. But the reason why I laugh is that I thought it was funny that you threatened to sue me. And another reason why I laughed is because wasn't Alex just talking about how verbal agreements don't matter early on in these?
Yo, I just wanted to say, I've never met a guy who does 6-figure contracts that is as much of a goofy lame as you. Explains why you felt the need to flex on a 20-year-old. Hopefully Chris sees through your bitch assness soon and drops you. Sorry, you're a weak kid. Even now, though, this entire week since we started the contract negotiations, you're still not looking at yourself and taking no accountability. I'm gonna explain it to you in facts and call it a day. I'm gonna explain it to you in facts and call it a day. Whether you choose to read it or not is your prerogative. We talked about contracts. You verbally agreed to things with Cloud, and when I speak to you, you go back and say, yeah, but who the fuck is texting this? Oh, okay, this is Cloud. I didn't sign anything, so that doesn't matter. Sets tone for the entire situation. Facts.
Negotiations. Yet he was threatening to sue me.
Word is bond, boy. Word is bond.
Over a verbal agreement that, again, his words, he said, doesn't actually matter. Yet he wants me to stand 10 toes on my verbal agreement to him when it benefits him. Remember how I told y'all that's going to come back to bite him? But in the message I sent you back, I told you that we were paying you your money. And as y'all know, for my payment cycles, I paid every single Sunday. But I also told you that I'm paying you on our time, not yours, and that I don't have to honor the verbal agreement. Because remember, by your words, verbal agreements,
shit's adding up. As I said, shit is adding up.
Don't matter. Bet that. We're playing by your rules now. And that's honestly just what I was thinking at the time. I thought a spade was a spade. But at the same time, that doesn't excuse my actions. I should have just paid him right then and there and moved on with my life. But I wanted to be petty, so the situation kept on continuing. But I never actually did pay him that Sunday. I paid him a day before. And the reason for that is because Alex tried to blackmail me. Alex sent me a long...
Okay, let's get into this. I blurred out names for privacy reasons. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna pay me my money today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. If not, I'm pressing send on everyone. I'll tag on my story and tweet too. Y'all can play with all this other stuff, but we not playing with my money. But listen, if you send my money, I'll leave you alone. You leave me alone, we good. We go our separate ways. The message to them too, so be smart with your next move. All over 150.
Long villain monologue text saying I shouldn't have trusted him, I shouldn't have did this, I shouldn't have did that, and that he was going to text some of my personal friends that he had met that I said nasty, violent, absurd, and scandalous things about them, which most of them, of course, were not true. Or for the most part, extremely over-exaggerated, or just so petty that nobody would give a fuck. Like, I think for one of these people, he said that I had said that their grills were...
So not surprised. Speaking of, you told me Jesus fucking Christ. Gritty, read. You told me a lot of things that I should not know. And the people you were talking about know that some of these things I would only know because of you, because they barely know me.
Fake or some shit. It's like fake or some shit. It's like, what? Matter of fact, I actually took the messages and told all of my friends exactly what they said on them, and none of them cared. But he told me if I didn't pay him that exact day, exactly when he wanted, even though, again, you were one day away from just getting the payment. If you just had waited, you would have got that shit on Sunday, brother. But if I didn't pay him immediately, that he would send the text out to all those people, which I don't know why this was his attempt at blackmail. Because even, let's say there was some crazy shit in them text messages. If you sent those, you do know that you would never get that payment again. Because like what? Like that's why it didn't make sense. Why would I send you the payment after you did what you said you were going to do on the blackmail? It doesn't really make that much sense. And also, it's not like he didn't know he was going to get paid. He knew he was going to get paid the next week, which is why I actually think he decided to do this on Saturday just to try to be petty with us and try to force me to pay it one day early. But honestly,
that would actually add up because your time would have been considered Sunday and his time would have been any other day of that week. So he tried to force your hand. Damn, that is a petty ass nigga. Damn!
With this blackmail attempt, you put yourself at such a risk because, like I said before, I was going to pay you. But if I was really a dickhead for real, I could have looked at that and been like, oh, fuck no, you're blackmailing me. You're never getting your money again. Which is why you can see in the messages, I laugh.
Bro cooked up a master evil plan. I know you're scared because all you care about is your image, and I'll let you keep it for my money. I don't care if it was $10.
I even pointed this shit out. And I'm going to be honest, at this point, I wanted to keep this shit going. I wanted to just wait one more day and really just irritate this man. But I don't know if it was the shock that he tried to blackmail me or the fear that he might attempt something more serious than blackmail the next time he tries to get me. Like potentially dropping a video on the whole topic, exposing the whole situation without context. Just a random idea. But I was like, yeah, let's end this. I think what helped is that I was just going to pay him the next day. So it's like, okay, you waited one more.
You said niggas and you can't fire me from something I'll quit. And what, bro, what is tomorrow, dumbass? Oh, that makes so much more sense. When he says, you said next week and you can't fire me from something I quit. I said I quit. I remember that whole hard bar for bar. And I said, what is tomorrow, dumbass? And I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, what is tomorrow? Bro, for sure. Cool, don't care. Honestly, just send me my money, please, and thank you. And withholding people's money is how you move and talking about your friends. So what does that say about you? Anyway, I don't know where you got this 300 from, but 250 is what we agreed on before. And just because you blackmailed
me to pay him, that really will show him, like, it's like, bro, if he's willing to do this for his money, gang, just give it to him.
We said half on the Ash Cash vid because I was halfway done when you said to cut production, and 200 has been agreed on base price. Trails and all via Cash App. Stop playing. I'm telling you now, just go ahead and send it and we can dead this because I'm not in the space to play. Leave me alone now. Check Cash App. Shut your bitch ass up. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't mention me. We done.
Because honestly, I really didn't want to see what he came up with next. Was he going to accuse me of false grape or some shit? Like, I was over this shit. So I paid him. And yeah, that was the last I heard of him until now. Today. So yeah. You want to know something funny? After this whole controversy, and Alex didn't see it because Alex blocked him. But in this message, Justin responded to him in a mature way. And also, this could double as evidence that everything that I said in this video did actually happen. Because Justin sent this message over 6 months ago. And also, breaking news. Alex dropped a second diss video before I could even get my first one out. He's trying to call out the reactors that reacted to it and called out the obvious holes in your story and trying to say that I paid them. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? You're just trying to get attention. It's just sad at this point, bro. It's desperate. But as y'all see, I didn't scam this man. I was just being petty towards him. And that's kind of the end of the situation. Like I said before, I don't think this situation should have been publicized because it's just...
It was 6 months ago. You got your money. You were being a little bit of a hoe about it. Now you're being, not even a little bit now, you were being a major hoe about it. And there was certain things you weren't giving certain key details on purpose to make sure that we would side with you. Because we were right. A lot of, even though I try to play both sides, as devil's advocate, sees some things that some people on the other side don't. Cloud was wrong for not paying you on time because you never know what you needed. But there were some screenshots that didn't make any sense, and that was on you.
I'm not going to sit here and act like this is a situation I'm proud of, but whatever he's trying to say I did by scamming him or trying to take advantage of him, that's clearly not the case, and I hope today that I proved that. He did all of this in an attempt just to get attention, to launch his own channel. There was no justice to be served. There was no warning to be had. There was only lessons to be learned, which I feel like I have learned them, but I don't know if you have. You can't just force everybody into doing what you want them to do. Just because you lie and manipulate people into thinking that you're right, that doesn't mean you are. This whole story, you've been trying to manipulate me into doing what you wanted me to do. And when I finally said no, you make an exposed video on me. But that just shows your character. And you know what's funny? You're even trying to manipulate your own comment section because you've been deleting comments this whole entire time. And like I said before, I for sure was not perfect in this situation. I did a lot of things wrong. And I was just overall being petty, and I was also being unprofessional in a lot of this. And I want to take full accountability for that. And I actually also want to apologize to you, Alex, for being unprofessional. And I want to add, for also being petty. Because I've grown since then. I'm not a perfect person, but I do try to get better every single day I'm on this earth, and I will never stop doing that. I also want to take some time and apologize to y'all for not responding to this sooner. I know a lot of y'all was wondering what the fuck was going on. It took me a long time to make this video because I'm gonna be honest, it cuts me a little bit deeper than I'm actually leading on. I've been laughing, joking around this whole video, but this shit actually does hurt, bro. Because me and him, like, we used to be brothers, bro. Like, I let you meet my mom, my parents, I let you stay at my crib, sleep in my bed, not my actual bed, like a side bed for like the other room, like not with me. Fuck, y'all gonna call me gay. Not to mention during PCB, I covered your B&B fee for the trip, along with flying you out of there. During DreamCon, you were an hour away from con and you wanted to be closer, so I let you come to our crib and stay the whole time there. We was having late night combos. The shit was a vibe, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bang. And you have done a lot for me. I remember I was going through a hard time last year during January or February where I was going through a lot of mental shit, and I relied on you and clinged on you for therapy, and you was there for me. Some of the information I told you during that time, you tried to expose in this video. I guess it didn't mean what it meant to me to you. But that's okay though. It's a lesson learned. And I also gotta be careful with who I pour my heart out to. But that's really it for this video. I'm not trying to make this shit a soft story. I know you'll probably make a response to this video. If you do, leave other people out of it. Also, please go like my comment under his video, encouraging people to not just see his
Please go watch my video and listen to my side of the story too. He left out a lot of context of the story.
His side of the story, but to also see mine. But if you go to this video and you don't see it, then I feel like we already know what happened to it. Shouts out to everybody who
That was smart. That was smart. Okay, Cloud.
To me and made sure I was straight. And shout out to all y'all who reached out to me and made sure I was straight. I really do love y'all, and I never want something like this to happen again. But hey, I'm sorry. I put y'all through this. Scott, you stay fly. You always will stay fly. Thank you.
Yeah, Scott Crew. Alrighty, Cloud. Yo, good response. Very clear cut. I wish there was a couple more screenshots in it, but he showed enough for us to piece together the truth. And from my perspective, Alex is a bit of a weirdo. I don't feel like, I know even at the end of my video, I said, you use the word scam to get the publicity, and I understand it, right? Trying to get those eyes. Clickbait's clickbait. It's fine. But the way you were talking about yourself, talking about Cloud, talking about every situation, it came across as if niggas just did you wrong from day one. Or at least up until the point where he couldn't get what he needed, right? That was dead wrong. But tell me what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Like up, sub up, Gritty Gang on top. And you already know the motto. Grit your teeth and chase your dreams.